Hello, and welcome back to XCOM Phoenix Squad, our band of blades actual play. Heavy air quotes there. But it is episode 6, I have been informed, after much deliberation. And I am here with some amazing players. I would love to have them introduce themselves. And we'll start with Nick.
Hey everyone, I'm Nick. I'm playing William Brood Watkins. He is the newest member of the squad and may have made a tactical error, but I think fortunately we're just going to kind of cruise over that.
And Jason?
Hi, I'm Jason. I am playing a character called Valkyrie. She is the team's medic and techie, just general tech. So that's all going great. And hasn't really had any trouble with that or seen any real conflict. So we're good. Everything's good here. How are you?
Yes, there are definitely no problems that could come out of any of this whatsoever. Never.
Nope.
Speaking of absolutely no problems whatsoever, living the charmed life, Joe.
I was not thinking you would point to me for that. It's only a semi-charmed life that I'm living. Yeah, it's just a semi-charmed life. I do know the lyrics. I'm not going to torture you all with that. Hi, I'm Joe. I play Wolf. And last we saw Wolf, he was not able to move himself because he had been cocooned and protected, and felt a moment of tenderness, perhaps a moment of care from somebody. And we'll see how he processes that today.
And speaking of tenderness and care, and definitely all warm, soft, fuzzy feelings, Sam.
Not the character, Sam. Hi. Full of warmth and tenderness and fuzzy feelings on this, our character introduction of lies. I am playing Jessie Jinx O'Grady, whose conscious interpretation of such warmth and tenderness, as Wolf described when they psychically stunned him and inadvertently protecting from all harm as a secondary consequence. Warmth and tenderness could be interpreted as, you absolute egg.
Go back into the cocoon. You are not ready to hatch yet.
You are not done cooking. Stay.
So that brings us to a lovely recap in which our intrepid squad got together and wore very appropriate outfits for going to the black market and tracked down the location that was given to them in a flirty note, maybe just daunting note from Mama. And they were met by as yet unidentified Reaper, who said that they had timed this whole expedition to miss the Ferry Master. And yes, we all know that the Ferry Master is a very pretentious name for a very pretentious person.
Very, very pretentious ferryman.
But as they neared the black market, they were ambushed by what at first looked like another Reaper and a couple of other soldiers, but that Reaper was wielding a blade. And it was very odd and rather tense, and even more tense as in the background, like you heard kind of a scratching noise. And then as you shot it, it was a roaring noise because there was a berserker back there. And the thing that you definitely want to do is injure a berserker without killing them in the round, because that never goes badly for anyone.
See, I remember it going badly, though, in the video game.
No, Jason, remember, the recap, like the introduction, is full of lies.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just strategically placed lies. Technically, a lot of it is the truth, but then there are strategically placed lies so that for
the
more
best
emotional
kind of
impact
lies.
later.
Storytelling.
Here's the thing, Jason. I think you downloaded a mod that made it a bad thing.
Oh, the game?
Yeah.
Downloaded the game.
The mod was called Mechanics.
Yeah. Mod was called XCOM War of the Chosen. End of sentence.
So, yes, as you heard the roar of the berserker and it charged towards the party, Brood had an idea and pulled the pin on a grenade and dropped it, and then told you all to scatter, which, I mean, is fine because the only people who were actually down there were Brood and Wolf. Brood took cover behind a previously blown out car so that it would not explode when the grenade went out. It's real smart thinking there.
Yep.
Wolf
Already
decided-
burnt looking, so it can't explode. Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Wolf decided to jump on the grenade, quite literally.
Absolute egg.
But in a stunning display of both psychic power and feelings, Jinx wrapped him in stasis, saving him from the explosion and immobilizing him for a short time. When the smoke cleared, there was a giant crater from the grenade, like happens. That I'm going to say Wolf is slightly suspended above. The stasis actually was a stasis in space.
Oh yes, a spaces.
Yes, it's a very spaces. And all of your enemies are destroyed. The two mooks that had been on the side that Jinx had formerly kind of like been making their brains melt out of their ears anyway have been blown back and are obviously not getting back up. The strange would-be Reaper, would-be Blade Master has been obliterated, along with the Berserker who had just converged upon your position. As you all like kind of take this in for a moment, the whisper comes from above. We won't be alone for long. We have to get the hell out of here. The Lost are coming. And you can hear, as the ringing in your ears starts to fade, the scratching, crashing, lumbering noise of you don't know how many lost, but it's coming from all around you at this point. If we stay here, we'll be overrun.
It's like enough to lag the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then don't lag behind.
So I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have time anyway, but also so I don't feel bad about it. There isn't enough of the Berserker to collect and build the Berserker hide armor, right?
No.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that hide has been
Fried.
blown up.
Yep. I could make patches.
Possibly if you want to stick around and then
Shoulder patch.
And then be overrun by the
No, that's
by
fine.
the Lost.
Lost and found another time.
As your ammunition dwindles and
All right. So if I could, I would like to spin Raven up into the air to try to get a quick 360 view of like what's our. I know we still want to go towards the swap meet. Wait, what was it called?
Black Market.
Black Market, swap meet.
It's basically the same thing.
Friendly meeting of like-minded individuals. But if we need to like cut down a block and then back up and then go, like I want to see if I can map us a path.
Safe route. Great. Let's go with. I mean, that's a pretty. It's a scout roll.
Okay.
But but I will give you potency on it for your infiltration because Raven is zipping along and has a bird's eye view. So you can gain an extra die there.
Okay, so then I'm just. I don't have anything in Scout, so it's just Insight. There's no minus for not having Scout.
No, I'm gonna say that it's just your insight dice and +1 for for your infiltration.
Okay.
Do you want to spend stress?
Oh
Or
yeah,
have
how does that
someone
work?
assist?
Well, I'm gonna call this one because this is Raven going like above and out from y'all's position.
Yeah.
That it's not necessarily something that y'all would be able to assist with
Oh,
unless
are there any devil's bargains in the mix?
this one I can say that you are stuck here for the duration of finding this path,
Mm-hmm.
which is fine because you're stuck here for the duration until Wolf comes out of stasis.
Okay.
But that the first wave of lost will reach you before you're able to leave.
And that's if I roll poorly, or that's
the devil's bargain is something that happens either way.
Okay. And then what does that give me? Like 2 dice?
And that will give you another die.
1 die. Okay. I'll take it. That's a 25% increase from the number of dice I had before. Okay, here we go. 2 5s and a 6.
Awesome. So as you send your consciousness in a way up through Raven and are looking through all these cameras, you are able to scout a safe path to the black market. You actually see that you're not all that far away. It's kind of an amazing situation because why are they camped that close to the lost? But maybe this is also why they move around so much and why they don't investigate any kind of like loud noises that happen in the vicinity. But just as you snap back into your consciousness, the first wave approaches through the street below you. You see them coming out of the darkness from the direction that you need to go. They have converged upon this location, so you will have to fight through them in order to escape.
All right. And I'm like trying to shout directions and to let everyone know what I've mapped, and like putting little ping. Anyone who has a HUD could get a little green arrow on the ground, like this way.
But I do want to take just a second and rewind for a moment. So while you are out and scouting this path, and you're like, you could almost see it in your eyes, is like instead of the reflection of what's going on around you, it's like random lights and a lot of darkness, and then the like lights of the black market come up. Jinx and Brood are reeling from this explosion, reeling from what just happened. And I would love to know what y'all are doing.
The moment that Wolf comes out of stasis, I'm going to grab him, shove him in the direction that we're supposed to be heading, and say, we need to talk when this is over, and just push him in that direction.
You will have to skirmish me for that.
Fair enough.
Okay, so
I'm gonna fail, but
I am. But it's rating. Okay.
But well, I think it depends, because Wolf has the ability of, he just knows how many lost there are and what the relative strength is. What's the read right now on this group that's coming?
The first group that's coming through, I'm gonna say, is it's the Dashers and the group that has made it
Shit.
to you first.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you've got 4 Dashers.
Yeah.
So on the normal course of things, it wouldn't actually be a problem,
Right.
but you have to fight them on the move, because
Yeah.
if you don't and you stay to make a stand, then the slower lost will converge upon your position,
Yeah.
and you don't know what kind of lost they are.
Yeah. Okay. Wolf would like to know what's the best way to deal with it so that we're not drawing more lost towards the city or civilians or the market.
I mean, at this point, it's to get out.
Okay.
They're going to converge upon this position.
So we need to not be here when they get here.
Mm-hmm.
We need to not kite them back. Okay. Okay.
So
yeah, in that case, I don't think, because Wolf was thinking, oh shit, do we need to like cut off this wave? But if we need to just move, then Wolf's not going to resist moving.
you know, like, you can feel it, that like,
Yeah.
okay, there's this small wave, this small group that has hit you,
Yeah.
but it is a tidal wave behind it.
Yeah. Okay.
And Jinx?
Letting Wolf out of stasis is a little bit like doing a controlled descent of a pull-up. Like, the getting up there was not the easiest thing. And just dropping would not be all that bad, but there is a small risk of scrambling, because I don't know. The thing, there's a thing in there. If you were psychic, you'd know the thing I'm talking about. I can't. What does my pink look like for you might be different than your pink. There's a thing, and you have to be careful with it. So I release him very slowly, and at this point, they're a little woozy to be out of it, in the same, like they've gotten their sea legs of psychic and interacting in the psychic mode, or the psychic, not literally plane, but pink. Whereby dropping out of it, particularly because of the explosion, let's be honest, everything is swimming. And their solution is, no, back on the boat, back on the boat. Then I have my sea legs. I have the correct legs for the situation. Could I send a kinetic blast across the way, like to the other side of this sort of courtyard or site, so that at least they're still converging on our general location, but they might go to a tactically disadvantageous position?
Okay. I mean, you can send the blast. I am going to because I feel like this one is like a this one's going to be like a weird but maneuver roll to see if you can tactically, like, if it's enough of a distraction, if it's big enough to like kind of counteract the fact that a grenade just went off, and you're working through your own kind of like hangover. You're hangover of pink.
All to pieces. Yeah, exactly. And even if it's a touch quieter, that just sounds like we're some silly humans escaping.
Also, I think part of Wolf's thinking on diving onto the grenade is, with shrapnel, if we contain the shrapnel, it won't go as wide and make as much noise and blow up windows and things. So hopefully that did something.
Your thought there, but it is not how grenades work. So no.
Okay.
the shrapnel isn't what causes the concussion that blows out
Right,
windows,
right,
because
right.
it's not shrapnel hitting the windows that actually blows out windows when you have an explosion. And wow. So if anyone wants to hear about how much Pooja's characters love explosives,
Nice.
listen to Dead Drop.
Okay.
Also, I think
Cool.
the thing that Wolf's thought was beyond the shrapnel is also that he would have effectively acted as an insulator by absorbing the kinetic
Yeah.
force. I didn't let you do that.
Yeah.
And for all I know, it's like reflective or refractive. Like, we don't know that in stasis
Right.
you absorb the wave rather than it's sort of like boiling right off.
Repelled off thing.
It's a psychic thing. Pink, I'm telling you. Well, actually,
It's
purple.
all pink.
It's the whole,
I
and
became an
it's all
amplifier.
intersubjective pink. Right, for all we know. But I do like the idea
Yeah.
that releasing from that blast and trying to sort of turn the momentum of letting you out of it is the kinetic blast that I use. I'm going to just make my roll now. I'm stalling because I'm nervous. 5.
Awesome. So you are able to spin the energy that I'm going to say, a portion of the energy from this blast was embedded in the shield. So the shrapnel was embedded in your cocoon. And as you unwind those cocoony strands and shoot them off into the distance, the shrapnel is carried with it, creating a concussive blow that draws the attention of a couple of the lost that hadn't seen you yet. Like, so you've got 4 you've got 4 dashers converging upon your location, 2 of which have spotted Wolf and Brood. The other 2 of you are in like a elevated position, so they haven't noticed you yet. And when that kinetic blast hits, the 2 that were just behind those front 2 that have already spotted you are distracted. You can't tell. It's not far enough away for you to be able to tell if it really diverted the rest of this tidal wave, but you get the impression that you want to get out of here before you find out.
Yeah, this is making the wave crash like 5 feet away rather than on top of our head. This is not avoiding the wave.
Exactly.
Wave's coming. We're going.
So, are you still going to fight Brood when he
No, I
moves you forward?
different. That was a different situation. I thought it was a different tactical problem. No, Wolf's not going to fight right now. He's going to stand up. Dravis, he's going to be on rear guard. He's moving back, but he's staying in the rear position to be like, they're going to have to get through my sword if they want to get close. But he is moving back and safe retreating.
Okay. We're, advancing.
Yeah.
Because this is technically the direction your objective is in. Congratulations. It's the little timer in the upper right-hand corner. Clicks down 1. I'm going to say at this point, Valkyrie has snapped back into herself. And, you see the route thrown up on your HUDs. Or at least like transmitted in such a way that you can understand where you're supposed to go. There's a glowing green light in the distance. So you have 2 dashers in front of you who are coming for you. Brood, do you want to?
Yeah, I want to gun one down.
Okay. Give me that shoot roll. And I am going to say that, as usual, y'all are going for headshots. Headshots are all that matter here.
Uh, 5.
You hit it, but you do not hit it in the head. So what you do is stagger it a little bit, so it is slower. But It's still coming.
Fair enough.
Wolf stands next to Brood. He's doing the Blade Ranger attack of opportunity, let them come to me thing.
Okay. And Valkyrie, you see, like, I would say you can see what's happening here. Like, you know that they are standing in your path. And what would you like to do?
What are the chances that Raven could make enough noise in another location to kind of draw some more of that big wave that's still coming?
You're not going to be able to make enough noise to draw off the whole tidal wave.
Well, yeah, I was.
Or even like a good portion of it, because
Okay.
like without attaching a grenade to Raven and then having Raven detonate a grenade very far away from you, like this.
Yeah, I get it.
This swarm is up on you. I'll put it that way.
Sure.
It's got momentum on its own now.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so now, sorry, refresh my. I lost a little bit of the movement there. Brood, like, squared up and took a shot.
And staggered one, but it is not down.
Okay. And
there is another one approaching both Wolf. So Wolf and Brood are next to each other on the street.
Okay.
In front of the crater. Brood is just took the shot at, at one, and Wolf is in kind of a Overwatch situation until one comes into range.
Okay. So I don't trust Wolf to answer this honestly. So I'm gonna hop. I think I was still up on the fire escape. I'm gonna hop down, asking Wolf, "Are you injured?" But I'm not waiting for an answer. I'm gonna go and try to take a closer look at him, because I don't think he would tell me that he was injured, even if he was. So
good instinct.
Fair.
But ask the question anyway as I hustle over there.
I don't think I am injured because of the stasis, but I'm probably like disoriented. Yeah. Wolf didn't think he was gonna survive that blast, so he's like,
yeah,
it's not processed yet. He's all reactive right now.
Okay. So no obvious wounds or anything.
Nothing you can see on the outside, probably.
And Brood's not injured, I don't think.
No.
Okay.
Y'all actually got through that last encounter very remarkably unscathed. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Physically.
Well, the stasis situation created a very like 0 or 1 solution.
Yes, binary.
Brood knows that once you pull the pin on the grenade, Mr. Grenade is no longer your friend.
Yeah. So
we'll stick a pin in that for later.
All right. Well, I'm going to kind of take up a position behind Brood and Wolf, and I'm just going to try to get, since nobody needs healing, and Genji's not here, I can just go ahead and take a shot.
Great. Roll me a shoot plus prowess.
Have a little bit of that. A 5.
Okay. I'm going to say that this is a situation where I feel like y'all need to get a 6 to hit them in the headshot.
Yeah.
With you all being slightly disoriented from the blast and all of that. So you hit the other one square center mass. On anything but a lost, it would have been a beautiful shot.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, Jinx.
Jinx, also on the fire escape, stumbles forward, drops to their knees a little, and so they end up bracing themselves on the safety rail up atop the ladder, raise their gun, and will shoot, triggering it psychically, which has no mechanical effect of any kind, but this is the interface that they're using in this moment. It's like
I love that.
all
That's
of
so cool.
the color layer of everything is out of the world, and it's just the purple skeleton that connects everything in like the video game designer layer. There's a 6. There's a 6.
Sweet. Jinx, as you kind of reel and wheel your weapon up and you hit the leading one directly in the head and it falls. And you see like in this kind of like skeletal, like outliney purple haze, the strange mass that is the Lost, because while they don't have higher order thinking, there is something that is driving them, and you can see parts of that force and it bleeds away. So I am going to say that the second one is like coming fast enough, even though it is slowed down. It is now slowed down to kind of the normal speed of a Lost rather than a Dasher.
So limping towards me.
It is limping towards you.
Okay.
Shambling towards you, even.
Wolf just says engaging.
Does Wolf have Blade Storm?
Does Wolf have Blade Storm?
Just, the best move in the game.
Does
Actual.
Wolf have Blade Storm? No, Wolf squares himself. He takes a high stance, raises his weapon, and waits. And he lets the enemy close the distance this time, but he's going to take a strike. And
Okay.
shall I roll a skirmish?
Yes, please.
All right.
18 dice.
Brood is going to spin around while Wolf is taking care of this one and make sure that we don't have anything coming up right behind us.
A lot of dice. Here we go. I have 1 6.
Okay. So as the Lost shambles towards you, you slash out with your blade, severing its already rather corroded neck. And its head tumbles away from its body. The other two Lost are they were kind of in this split moment between, they have been going after this kinetic blast sound, but when they hear the gunshots, they turn back around and start to come towards you. But currently they are on the other side of this kind of courtyardy clearing cul-de-sac-y way that you are. It's not an actual cul-de-sac because then there wouldn't be a way forward to get out, but you know what I mean.
All right. Jinx practically pours themselves down the ladder to converge with the rest of the group. I don't even think they're reading the HUD. They're reading someone's mind who's reading the HUD. It's just a lot, and they haven't done this sort of thing in a while, and so they just follow the shoulder parrot. Wait, no, the squad. Well, by which I think they're the meat of the sandwich, aren't they? They're going to let some people be on point and some people be in back, since apparently people are just falling over themselves to guard the 6 this time.
So great. So you make it out. I'm going to say that as you all come together and
can I have a quick moment?
Oh,
Sorry.
Sure, go ahead.
If there's time, Wolf's going to quickly check the pocket of the Lost that he just decapitated. Any ID, anything that a civilian would have been carrying in their clothing?
No, this
Okay.
is a pretty far gone Lost.
Okay.
From the state of decay around their body.
Right.
and their clothes are kind of like long gone. They're just scraps
Right.
at this point.
Right. Okay. Wolf's gonna say, "I'm sorry," and then fall back.
Okay. As you move together and not quite limp away, but definitely sway away from the situation, you can follow the path that Valkyrie and Raven laid out for you pretty easily. As you hear the sounds of the lost and the destruction and the breaking windows and everything converging behind you, it gets fainter and fainter. You know that you'll have to find another way back to the city after this because you don't want to move through that particular path again. The Reaper who I definitely did not forget about during that whole situation.
We're on
Uh,
Overwatch.
is comes back down to street level as you all go through and helps as Wolf and Brood guard the flank, helps take point so that Valkyrie can kind of check in on Jinx, I'm assuming, as they slither down and kind of piggyback their vision through you.
Yeah.
And
Is Jinx injured?
I think it is fair to say that Jinx's bell was wrong. Like, it's mostly the combination of being deep into your psychic business while a blast rings your noggin.
Yeah.
That's just it's just not a good combination. Is it like, traumatic encephalopathy? Probably not.
Yeah.
Does it feel real bad?
I seem to remember there's a version of smelling salts that's supposed to be good for emergencies, like somebody in shock, like, okay, we need to deal with shock, but over there. So there's like in real life, something like that. So if that's all right, I'd like to produce a what is it called? What do I make? A tonic. That it's supposed to remove a level of harm, but I thought maybe it would help reduce a level of concussion.
Absolutely, we can say that it like when you use a med kit in the field, it will remove adverse effects.
Dazed.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
You can no longer be. You will feel that clarity of your mind come back to you.
Hey.
Which in this case is like a slow raise of the opacity of actual world over the skeletons.
Hey, I need you with me. We have to run.
I'm with you. And I think suddenly you see me seeing you.
Yeah, just like pupils dilate and like, okay, that's.
And we're good. They snap.
Okay, let's go.
Great. So, in very short order, you come across a glowing of a light in front of you. Something that was so almost like overcast before you got in range. And you realize that the entire black market has been set up with like portable covers to even further minimize their
Hey, yeah, Pooja, pause 1 second. Pooja, can you still hear me? Uh-oh. Okay.
Well, that's an answer, I suppose.
Pooja, can you hear me?
Okay, I wasn't the only one thinking it. Thank you.
Well, this is a cooperative storytelling game, right? So we get to the black market,
Right.
Get everything we need. Everything's fine.
They're super grateful. They give us everything for free.
Yeah.
And
We build
Isn't
another
ice
Avenger.
skating the best?
They
That
they
was-
tell us exactly what we need to know.
Yeah.
everyone lean a little to me. Oh no, everyone else is pretty much in their frame. We'll have to wait for her to pop back on. But we're pretty close to the right frames. Yeah, we'll just rebuild an Avenger from scrap.
Yeah.
And
Which they so conveniently had. Isn't that great?
Also,
Yeah.
we cure the plague, right? We cure the lost, all of them.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we all get shawarma.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that actually sounds
Yes.
good though.
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I could go for some right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I've been moving all morning on just a baby bell of cheese.
Okay, so I'm also bringing you food later.
Yeah. What the heckity?
Nick,
I
pull
went
up
for bagel
the
before show.
website for SOTA, SOTTA,
Uh-huh.
and send me what you want from there. I'll get you something.
Oh, you don't have to do that.
But I'm gonna. So
Okay.
you might as well tell me which thing you like.
Okay.
Aw, good friends.
Aw.
Well, that's awful nice. Thank you.
We cut to a door that slams open. Sunshine's there, and he's in his armor.
Oh my god. No. Oh.
He tells us he's been in deep cover this whole time.
Oh,
He's got a new job for us, but
He
he needs a
had fallen
team he
through
can trust.
a time
Right.
warp, and yeah.
no, but here's the terrible thing,
The
y'all.
music brings up Happy Together.
The fact that in this episode,
No, walking on
is
sunshine.
this- yes, the fact that we stasis wolf means that there would be setup for, like, if we've recurred on the scene where Sunshine died, at the end Sunshine comes back, you play out that scene and he was in stasis and he lived, and then he can come back.
Yeah.
Like, you now have enough setup to pay that off if you wanted to do the happy twist. And I say
Yeah.
this on purpose while Pooja isn't in here, because that has to, like,
This
it
is
needs
all canon
something, it
now.
contextualizes shit. Like,
All of
it's
this is
important that it
canon.
continues to exist. Okay, no,
Yes.
never mind, it's canon.
Stasis will save dead people always.
Stasis will say pre-dead.
Yeah, they will cancel out a dead.
It canceled out your dead now, didn't it?
Yes, right.
Hey,
You're welcome.
here's a question. We just heard from Pooja, everyone, that she's restarting because her computer just wasn't having it. What do we know where the term in this context vamping comes from? Because I only know it in terms of like embracing someone in Vampire.
You
What-
know, we use it all
comes-
the
It
time.
comes
in
from
theater.
vaudeville, but I don't
Yeah.
know what the origin of using vamping
Yeah.
is.
Same.
I know it was like a 1920s term that started to come in, but I forget exactly where.
Interesting.
But it was in reference to, like, I think it was.
And Wandering says it's linked to revamp.
Oh,
Potentially.
because you're vamping correctly the first time.
Yeah. Or you did it so well, like, let's do it again.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's do the revamp again.
It's just a stall to the left.
And a stretch to the right.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. Well, viewers, it's the cast AMA. What?
Yeah,
There we
I think
go.
this is a good time
We
to
got a good
explain.
team, we can do it all night.
Above game, one of Wolf's traumas is the lost. So when it comes to the lost, he doesn't. So anyone that's been like, why is Wolf being such a jerk right now? He's not himself. I'm leaning into a trauma point, but
Oh,
hopefully
yeah.
we can.
Why would Wolf be traumatized by loss?
Ah,
That's so I did not expect it. Certainly not.
Oh, Wandering points out that vamping comes from being a short, repeated passage of music,
Right.
which is probably like you're waiting for someone to come in on
Oh.
their cue and they missed it,
Yeah.
and you're like, well, I'll play it again.
Ah.
I'll play it again.
Well, yeah, so that's
makes
where
sense.
I first learned the term. like in the
But-
musical sense.
But why
what
is that called
No,
vamping?
is why it's called vamping, because that's like it's not really an ostinato, but like I
Right.
can't think of an Italian or German or like a music language word
Yeah.
that sounds like it could have gotten corrupted into
I want to
vamp,
know
except maybe
the
like evolved.
etymology of the word.
Yeah, because it's really bugging me.
Yeah, thank you.
I got you, buddy.
I accepted your high five from long distance.
Sci-fi.
Yeah,
there you go.
No one knows that those were both my hands. So,
I mean, how could they know?
medieval French, meaning before the foot.
Right, like avant, presumably. I had seen that, but I hadn't seen that directly connected to the musical.
Interesting.
So like I can so far that's like my front runner hypothesis of the etymology. I'm with you. I haven't seen a result that like confirmed very on the nose on the nose. English has so many words and I did not use any of them just now.
Words are for cowards.
I'm not a brave man.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not arguing with you.
That's a first.
Just a brave fam.
So I'm a little surprised no one's asked us any questions here.
They know everything. It's
Yeah,
too
that's
late.
the thing. We're so good in our performances. Like it's incredibly clear everything that's
We're
going
open
on.
books.
Yeah, we've put all our emote out there. It's
I feel like that is broadly the case. I feel like this has been a fairly transparent text.
Mm-hmm. Oh, does Jinx have kids?
Wouldn't you like to know? Also, no. So no. Like I could not overstate no. Like when would they have, right? They came in like they come in pretty young.
Oh,
I
how
think,
old is Jinx?
Jinx is on the younger side of adventuring age.
Yeah.
I think, they joined up at the joining up age and they went through XCOM and they went through the psychic program and we just have not been out for that long. So like when would they have? I don't think they did before they joined up like in the middle of the war. So no, not the text is transparent. The Jinx
she is
not.
There we go. It took the threat of bringing out the MacBook.
Oh,
for my
shame
computer to
the
be
PC.
Like, oh shit. Which is fun because like I literally have no idea why any of that just happened.
It's okay. We solved the.
That's why I keep a hammer right next to the computer for the threat of percussive maintenance.
We solved the campaign, so we're good.
did.
Great. So
We even gave our own twist. It was great. It was
Yeah.
great.
Thank you all very much for joining us at. Okay, so you get to the black market and yes,
Your roommates are yelling at you.
yes, my furry roommates are like, what the fuck? I was quite comfortable in your lap. Can't believe you moved.
We even
Rude.
turned off the computer so you'd pay attention to us.
Basically sabotage. I'm telling all y'all. The reason why you weren't able to see the black market from a distance, why Raven wasn't actually able to like get a lot of details as you did this kind of reconnaissance tour, was that they have kind of erected a portable roof to this courtyard where they have set up the black market. in order to dampen the light and noise and heat signatures of the people who are coming in and out of it, and keep themselves as hidden as possible. As you look around, it's kind of astounding because it's this weird mix of the normal things you would find at a black market. There are weapons, there are kind of luxury items, there are what you'd assume. Y'all have all been around the block a little bit, except for Brood. So the rest of you assume are more of like a mercenary groups, guns for hire situation. But it's also, it still has those undertones of the market from when you walked into the Superdome when you landed in New Orleans. While there isn't music playing, there's food, there is like some art, are people enjoying themselves and laughing. It doesn't have the kind of expectation of menace that you would have expected there to be. In fact, it is almost more like a possibly deadly circus environment than
So a
it
circus.
is possibly deadly on purpose circus environment than it
Going to
is what you would consider like normal black market from what, you know, the Avenger traded in previously. The Reaper who guided you here turns to you and says, we promised you safe passage and we were unable to fulfill that promise. The Reapers owe you. I will find you a safe path back that skirts the Lost Swarm.
That's
And they
appreciated.
turn to go do that and they leave. As you look around, you notice that people are trading in credits and bartering and other things. Like, I'm going to say that y'all are observant enough to see that it's not like a kind of weird special currency or I only trade in favor situation. So here is our mini shopping montage. If y'all want to get stuff,
Yes.
if you want to look for something specific or special, it doesn't have to be weapon based or armor based like gear, but it can be if you'd like. There is some interesting stuff back there that you wouldn't expect to just be handed around. And you can see why Nia wants to both fold this into their regular kind of mutual aid network, and also why the rest of the council is like, we need to rein this in a little bit, because like people walking around with this kind of tech and this kind of weaponry is just not good for our society and as upstanding law and order people.
Well, if I can, but one of the things I'd like to look for, you know, one of the upgrades you can get in the video game is this like aerial taser upgrade for your gremlin. And I'd love to see if anyone has the equipment that I could use to, or even maybe that exact device of a, you know, something that I could upgrade Raven with to be able to provide some tactical support.
Yeah, absolutely. What you find is a small shop that has a large assortment of like technological parts that they have scavenged off of wrecked mechs, off of wrecked gremlins from who knows where. There are all kinds of devices and pieces, and they basically took everything that they thought would still be salvageable and have brought it to this market. So you are actually able to find the mod that you would need to attach to Raven to have a short range stun.
Cool. Depending on budgets and stuff, I'd also love to find the spider suit armor, but You know what I mean? The like grapple gun thing.
Oh, with the grapple.
I don't know what kind of scope we're looking at because I know we also kind of have to motor through this, but
No scope we can pick up from fallen enemies in combat.
Unless we use grenades or explosives, then all the
Right.
loot is gone.
yeah,
Right, but what kind of monster would do such a thing?
it's hard to imagine.
As literally everyone just turns to Brood.
Oh.
I am gonna say that is an item that the person you are talking to can get for you, but does not have. They're like, oh, I might be able to find, but that's also, since that is more of an Avenger
Yeah.
tech,
Yeah.
that is an XCOM tech versus a alien tech.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the kind of thing that they bring around and flaunt,
Right.
lest they get murdered.
Right, we keep this in the back.
Oh, right, because you would have had to take that off of an XCOM body, and that looks bad. Yeah.
It
Also,
is,
I mean, XCOM is known for retrieving the corpses of their fallen comrades.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well then, I'm good. I'm looking at equipment and figuring out how to attach things, and Valkyrie's in hog
Valkyrie's-
heaven.
Yeah, I was about to say Valkyrie's in her happy place now.
Yep.
Valkyrie is like a geek at fries.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, fries.
A micro center.
Yeah.
Micro
Yeah,
Center.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta get out there sometime. Anyway.
Okay, and Brood.
I think Brood is looking for an armor upgrade, or potentially a I feel like this is too much, but like the kind of assault cannon thing. But
like a heavy
that
weapon?
seems like a little far for the black market. So I think probably just like an armor upgrade.
Yeah, absolutely. What you find is panels that you can slot into your gear. It's like, you know how when you have military vests, they're layered,
Right.
and you've got your
Like an improved trauma plate, he said.
Yeah, and power
stretching
armor. She
out
said,
the-
I heard power armor. Yes.
Oh no.
There's power armor and
Yeah. And mounted under one of the arms, is that
there's a
assault
rocket launcher too.
Yeah.
And
that comes up out of the shoulder?
yeah, you've got the Predator cannon that
No, you can't use that one. Sunshine's in it.
Oh.
Oh right, that's right. That's right. Yeah. The dealer looks at you. Yeah, we've got a set of armor, but someone's in it. And Sunshine turns around and says, it's about fucking time.
You're late.
Oh, computer. Why must you be computer?
Oh. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no, computer.
The name of today's episode. Jason, you're on
Just
mute
you
for me.
pretty muted.
I think
Yeah, I
hardware-
was muted. Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Just
Good.
get-
I'm glad that was exactly as you intended. We just wanted to make sure, but that was on us for not being adequately perceptive. We should have understood your intent.
Let me
I
move over
apologize.
into my frame again.
Yeah, right.
My head is so huge now. Hold on.
You're the
That's
great and
what I'm
powerful
thinking.
Oz.
And yet Wolf uses none of it for thinking.
Oh,
Oh no, he deserves that. He's going through stuff and he's not doing it in a healthy way.
I mean, yeah, like none of us are cute with trauma. Come on.
now you have to be careful because thoughts leads to feeling, and feeling leads to anger, and anger leads to hate. I think I might have lost
So you
it.
become a Vulcan to avoid the dark side.
Yes. Yeah.
Got it.
Mm.
Oh wow, everyone in space is angry with me now. But also I'm right.
But the quote is attributed to Dumbledore.
Wait, to whom?
Dumbledore. Oh,
And there's
right. Never mind.
Yeah.
That's
there's
an
a picture-
obsolete, deprecated reference.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it's Saruman, but I'm
Yeah.
not an expert.
Yep.
Wholly less problematic. No.
And there's
that
a,
was good and dead Tolkien.
And there's a picture of Alec Guinness in the robes.
It's attributed to Albert Einstein.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or Abraham Lincoln, which is my favorite fake internet
Yeah.
attribution.
Right, when they're just like, people will believe anything if you put in quotes on the internet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Abraham
Yeah.
Lincoln.
I also like putting probably after anyone's quoted name.
Attila the Hun.
Probably.
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 Oh no, the whole internet's.
The whole internet, but you use that for internet things.
I'm gonna suggest to Pooja that we go to break for now. And
I think she should break her
Yeah.
internet. I agree.
okay.
Show it the hammer. It always works.
All right, folks. Stick with us. We're gonna take 5 here, or 5+, depending on what happens. And we will be back in just a moment. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Hello, and thank you for bearing with us while the Advent hacked all of my tech. They obviously don't want our squad to gear up appropriately for the upcoming conflict. So had to go just, take out a couple of mechs in my backyard real quick, and we are all back with you. So when my internet went down, Brood, you were getting heavy armor.
Yeah, I think you were saying new trauma plates I can put in.
Yes, you have advanced trauma plates now. And I am going to say you have a new kind of, like, it's not just like the chest and leg plates, but also kind of a deflecting shirt
Okay.
that you can put on underneath your, like, it gives you just another layer of protection all over your body rather than just in your chest and leg area.
Okay.
And
Important
what
question.
we did not do, and I think especially with all this trauma that has been going on and how you've been weaving in and out of the psychic plane of pink, that I believe we owe a roll on how you feel about council person Pitters.
Oh no, yes. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no, yes. Oh no, yes.
Yeah. That was a resolve resist, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's 3 dice. All right.
Are you over it, or are you still going pitter patter?
Yeah, I mean, the last time it was a mixed success, so it was a like, okay, I'm kind of coming out from underneath this
Right.
this wave.
Yep, we have a 6. We have a 6 and a 5. A 6, 5.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I feel
Nah.
if you want to narrate how you came out of this wave of feelings that were not necessarily your feelings, go ahead.
It's like when you're running a hose at low pressure. It is a psychic hose of pink. And because it's not at high pressure, maybe the interior walls of the hose start getting a little gunked up. And then you turn the hose all the way up in order to save your squad mate from inevitable demise that he orchestrated upon himself. And everything's just blasting right through there. And you know what? It blasts the crud right off now, doesn't it? The sheer throughput of everything, and to an extent returning to a mode of psychic action that is a much more well-worn trod for Jinx, not this feely Not this advent shite. But just making brains bleed out of ears and stun locking other beings on the battlefield. Reminded Jinx who they are and what they care about. What they care about.
What they care about.
Definitely what
Yeah.
they care about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're fine. Thank you.
Amazing. And when we had talked about this earlier, you did mention that there wasn't anything specific that you were looking for at the black
I thought
market.
of something.
Oh, ha, 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 ha. Hit us with your best shot.
Why don't you?
Thank you for not leaving me hanging.
I want to find foremost a plasma energy amplifier cell, a portable power cell. Secondarily, a sharpening kit. Because the thing is, if you want it to be better, it needs to be when the plasma's on and also if it's off. Don't give me that face. You don't exist within the fictional positioning of our world. I don't need that face from you. These two scene ideas are not interrelated either.
I am going to say that you actually go looking for the sharpening kit first. It's reasonably easy to find. People have blades of all kinds. You actually find something that hones the physical edge and somehow the plasma edge. Tech, it's magic. And so it draws less power. It has a sharper cutting edge when the plasma is activated on Wolf's sword. It's perfect. And then as you walk over to the, let's say, shadowiest corner of the shadowy corners of the black market to find things suited to the pink, you encounter Wolf there, who has just purchased a set of Psi-Amp bracelets and is handing over an exorbitant amount of credits, by the way. You weren't actually sure he had that much in his stash. They're rather perfect for you in design, in functionality.
I hide my shade immediately.
Wolf is very hotly yelling back at the vendor. You're sure this isn't going to fry, that this is legit? Because I'll know.
We would never debase the power by selling things that didn't work.
Wolf's going to put on the dampener bracelet and see if the lost feel more distant to him.
It doesn't affect your sense of the lost.
Right.
There's actually like, you almost get the sense that like it's more of a id level sense that you have rather than something that you would hone.
This is Wolf's wishful thinking. That's all it is.
Does he feel different to me, though? if I'm sort of nearby, just outside, listening to this, like to this scene as he puts it on,
I'll say that to Wolf, it's almost like when you've been in the sun and a shadow you've been in the sun and a shadow passes over you, like a cloud has formed. And rather than it being like a hot summer's day where it's a relief, it's like you were in winter, and that comfort of the sunlight is dampened.
I take it off and I give every last credit that I have, and I quickly squirrel away the bracelets into my gear pack.
I assume this is a contested, like, stealth versus scout that I'm about to lose. Yeah. Because I get the sense that you don't want me to have put...
Oh, Wolf doesn't want you to know that he got these.
And I don't want you to know, but...
I am going to say...
Why are we like this? I hate us.
If you want to do a contested scout versus stealth, but what I am going to say is that you could just roleplay it. Mechanically, you saw what you saw because you chose what you chose.
No, that's totally fair. I'm okay with Jinx knowing. I just don't think Wolf is paying attention to that right now. He just wants to make sure these work, and these are to his very exacting specifications. And
I mean, I'm curious about the role primarily to see, because this could go one of two ways. This could go Jinx knows and Wolf doesn't know that Jinx knows, or Wolf turns, goes out of the shop and into Jinx, and both of those are very valid tropes. And I'm just like, the stealth versus scout is now as he's leaving, which trope are we falling into? That is my thought.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna have you roll a
maneuver.
Jinx is gonna roll a maneuver. And Wolf is going to roll a scout.
Oh, okay.
Right, I know. I waited to ask.
I have a 5.
I do not have above a 3 on here. Thank you.
That's quite bad.
And that's just random chance. I gave it to random chance. There we are.
Also,
I'm gonna say that
real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Thank you, Sun Growler, in the chat for reminding us all to hydrate a little bit. So just a water reminder for everyone.
Hydrated, dry, straight. Let's go.
So here is what happens after Wolf takes the bracelets off. He's looking down as he puts them away and turns away from the merchant, and Jinx, as he looks up, is standing there, mouth slightly open in a kind of like shocked way, perfectly still in the doorway to this small like shop area. And you stop just before you collide with them.
Sorry.
I dropped the thing I was holding. Like a little bag.
Is there a moment where we awkwardly race each other to pick up the object?
Yes. I love this trope the most. So yes, there's always going to be a oh, there was a thing and now it's on the
Yeah.
floor.
Yes.
But it's that stunned slip from the fingers before. You see what Jinx was just shopping for.
Since when did you decide to be a ranger?
Oh, I don't know. A week after you joined the PSYOPs?
It hurt me too when I left. It never stopped hurting. I don't apologize enough because I don't think I can. But I'll keep trying. Wolf's gonna produce the objects that he's procured. You think these go good on me?
They
I think they got the sizing wrong, so maybe you know somebody, I don't know. Might look good on your dates when you're out.
I turn and shove a little playfully, a little to start moving us out of the doorway if we're going to have a whole emotion. It was business.
I know.
It just business.
You don't have to explain to me.
But I won't.
I trust you. I hear you. And thank you.
Anyway,
I didn't get a gift receipt, so it
if it's not compatible with your power converter, let me know.
yeah. No,
Val could probably.
It doesn't work on my situation, but if it's too much or I know where the stall is, I can come back.
Thank you.
I love you. Wolf walks away. He comes back because he forgot to take the thing. And he gently takes it with his right hand. And there's a moment where, if it's okay with you, Sam, the hand lingers a bit on top of yours. And then takes the object. Ever since Berlin. And then walks away.
I'm sitting my ass down on a bench now. Other scene, please.
And at that, I am going to say that there is a person who comes up to Brood while he is shopping for his armor. He is getting his new outfit settled around him. And a voice kind of comes out from the shadows that you made it. I wasn't sure if you were going to. The trip to the black market isn't always as smooth as it appears it will be.
I may not have all the social skills, but I was raised to believe that if someone invites you someplace, it's rude not to show up.
Well, it's good to know that you were raised right. As you can see, that the black market has a lot to offer the city. But they're not going to buckle under just because someone told them to. It's going to take time and persuasion.
Well, I think the question is, what can the city offer the black market? You know, what the black market can offer the city.
Well, that is what it's up to you to find out. But the obvious is legitimacy, safety of a sort, as much as any of us have. The market moves around from night to night, but it's always on the outskirts. They're always fighting lost. There's a reason why when people here hear a grenade go off 4 blocks away, no one comes running. Unfortunately, you missed let's call him the ringmaster. But the more people here know you, the easier time you'll have it. You've made a good start.
It's easier to listen to someone you're familiar with than someone who makes it sound like they're giving you orders. I understand.
Surprising. Coming from XCOM.
As you said, I was raised right.
And out of the shadows, you see a woman step out. And it is most definitely the proprietor of the gallery who you were talking to the other day. But she looks very different. She is now wearing the matching lipstick from the note that was slipped into your pocket. She is, I think the appropriate term would be dressed to kill.
Literally.
Well, I mean, if she were to pull that blade at her side, then I'm sure she knows how to use it. I'm gonna say that if you want to picture someone, like when, like, you know how when Charlize Theron in Bombshell, when she gets like dressed up, was it Bombshell? It was that movie with her and she's a spy.
Atomic
Blonde.
Atomic Blonde. It's that vibe.
I am a weak homosexual. You cannot just ended
What?
Excuse me?
The other option was a variation on Michelle Yeoh, so I feel like I took it down a notch.
Yo, what? Where's the button for both?
Getting us where we live.
Look, if everyone is going to perceive me,
I'm not in this scene. Excuse me.
so yeah.
I take a double take. Oh. Well, very nice to meet you, and I will extend my hand.
And she takes your hand, but like uses it to draw you in close and gives you a kiss just on the side of your lip, like barely touches your lip. Could be a cheek, could be lips, but it's in that in-between place.
Sure.
She knows what she's doing.
100%. And says, next time you want to come back, you know where to find me.
I think that I will be able to make that sooner rather than later.
And she kind of like winks at you as she walks away.
I stare and watch her go.
Could we do anything else? I don't know. It surprises you that like how quickly you lose sight of her, considering both that you are staring at her and two that she looks like she does. But it's like that scene in a movie where like something wipes the camera and she's gone.
Mama, just kiss the brood. Put her lips against his head.
So on that note,
Tried
unless
to find
anyone
her, but she fled.
I am gonna say that as Wolf runs away from Jinx and his Felix, you kind of come across Brood standing there, dazed, maybe a little confused. And if Valkyrie is done with her modifications, or at least to the point where you've gotten everything, you've been able to purchase everything that you need. And I'm going to say it's going to take a little bit of time back at your base, unless you want to disassemble Raven here, which feels sketch.
Yeah, probably wouldn't do that, but I also think she might be, like you mentioned, that this in this like apocalyptic fries, they might have to come in and get her because she's lost the passage of time is non-existent for her in this dimension. So
Like a good bookstore.
yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic. So yes, Wolf runs straight into Brood.
Wolf?
Watkins.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Watkins.
Oh. Should we find the others?
Yes. You and I will talk.
Agreed, but this isn't the time or the place.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to do better.
That kind of softens the polite formality that Brood had a little bit, but we all are.
I know. It's different without Shine.
Yeah.
Let's find the others.
I nod, and we, I think, start looking for. I think
Where do they have
I'm going
computers?
to assume that Wolf is going to kind of lead us away from where he knows Jinx is.
Yes. Yeah.
And over to where we last left Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Valkyrie is elbows deep in a bunch of tech that the store proprietor looks like that face that Charlie has when he finds the golden ticket. But as you drag her away, because most of what she has found is not actually viable for the things that you are currently working on.
We already have one of those back home, and you never use
But what
it.
if I need another one?
Val, and I'll put my hand on the shoulder. It's time to go.
I only have 2 of those cables.
Yeah, they'll still be here when you need a third one.
If you're good, we'll come back next week.
Look. Fine. Where's Jinx?
We're just about to track her down.
All right.
Okay.
When you find them, then come back and get me, and I'll wait for you here.
No, I don't think that's a good idea.
Oh, here you are.
Damn it. I mean, hi, Jinx.
So is everyone done with their shopping?
I guess.
I think we found what we're looking for, and Brood looks slightly distracted for a moment.
I think who here is not currently reeling from their own emotional so Valkyrie notices just a tiny little bit of like lipstick right here on Brood.
Excellent.
Okay, we'll remember this.
No, Valkyrie will bring it up immediately. Brood, I don't know if you're trying a new color, but you didn't get it all off.
Oh, no, it's never mind.
No, what was that?
We should get back.
It looked like you were going to say it wasn't yours.
No, it wasn't mine. I mean, it was mine. I just was taking a look.
Okay.
Both know that you opt more toward the Coral family.
I made contact with Mama,
Oh,
and I arranged for passage for the next time we wish to visit. It shouldn't be as difficult next time.
When you say arranged,
And when you say contact,
and when you say mama, never mind. I got that part. I just wanted to add something.
When you
They-
say passage.
Yeah, they had good comments, and I just felt left out.
Well, we can talk about it later. It's time to go.
all right, then we rendezvous with the Reaper who couldn't take us safe the first time and hope this one goes better.
And it does. The Reaper has scouted the entire route there and back.
oh look, we're here.
in the
Yes.
time
Best
that y'all
done.
were shopping.
Good.
We unlocked the fast travel point now.
Wipe,
Uh
elliptical wipe.
and there's just like a little hopper that comes up and moves and touches down on your apartment. So when you get back, you do have time to install your modifications on Raven. You notice when you were installing them that there is these are later advent versions than you are accustomed to working with.
Huh.
So
All right.
at least you know that this didn't come off a fallen XCOM gremlin.
Yep. Yeah.
But the mech that this came off of, you weren't in the field when these were
Interesting.
when XCOM was fighting these.
Okay. Well, I want to be extra sure that I'm documenting the procedures and probably taking video notes for Lily Chen, and hopefully she'll notice me, and we'll see.
Woo.
Notice me, Chenpai?
So yeah, so while you're working on that, I am going to say, Wolf, that if you would like to install the pieces, the gift that you were given, this weapon will now be slightly more effective
Mm.
against armored opponents,
Oof.
as the plasma generation is that much hotter,
Nice.
and the blade itself can be honed to even finer of an edge with the whetstone inside of the kit.
Mm.
Even more of an edgelord.
But
I'll be mastering this blade for quite some time.
Jinx, your bracelets, should you choose to put them on, the constant hum of the city is muted.
And I think Wolf hears that because, frankly, our working spaces are close together, and when in doubt, Wolf hears that. We'll hear snap, snap, a pause.
There's 2 soft knocks against your wall. Wolf grins.
I was hoping he was gonna Kool-Aid Man through the wall.
Oh yeah!
Give
Seemed
us something
tonally
for the
appropriate.
finale. Come on.
Yeah.
I know, right? We gotta have somewhere to go here.
We have to wait until they install the window.
That's what I was gonna say. He needs a window.
We are not installing Windows on this stream. We've had enough tech troubles.
Lord knows. It's cool. He'll be that like creepy ass big bird knocking the door in. So I am going to say that like you have this moment, you knock back, and on your bed, your phone vibrates, or your communicator,
Yes.
and you have a message
Mm-hmm.
from Council Member Petters,
Mm-hmm.
who says, "I know it was so important to you. So I reached out to my contact and they're willing to meet with you." And he's so excited that we could have your support in this.
That's so thoughtful of you. Heart. I can't wait. Please send me whatever information I need. Send. Really appreciate it. Send.
You get back like 17 hearts. It's a lot.
That's a lot.
A lot.
Let me be clear here. I'm going to scroll up just the slightest bit when I take the screenshot that I send to our team for informational purposes. I do not subject them to all 17 of that.
So,
Roll for edit. Do we see the tops of the hearts?
Oh, maybe. You might see some bit of them when I get the information in the subsequent messages.
It's like that little bit where it's just little
Just the
hops.
little end of it. Yep. Oh god, that was a great word for it. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
I needed
Yeah.
that. That was the thing I actually wanted. Yep.
And they send you the information about a meeting time, but also that, oh, my contact, he's a little concerned. There's one other member of your group that seemed to be on our side. And you know, that understands the importance of embracing all of the advances that we can to shore ourselves back up. And he knows that you know, Valkyrie could be a real asset. But he's not so sure about the other two members of your team. So it'd be better if the two of you went. If just the like, I don't know if I could convince him that the two of you like to meet with more of the two of you, especially since it's such short notice.
Jinx puts in like 3 letters so it looks like they're typing and goes over to Valkyrie. Shows the message. Do you want in on this, or do you want to be anywhere but this? I can spin it either way with them. That's no mind. But
No, I'll go. It's probably better if I go. I don't want you to have to go by yourself. And I want to hear the pitch. I want to hear what this guy has to say in case I need to call him an idiot to his face. Oh, we're not doing that?
are you going to be okay?
I'm fine.
Vibe check.
Not fine. Because Pooja, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, this feels like a reasonable extrapolation that these are also the people who'd like to turn the Advent network back on.
That was the whole point of specifically following them. Yes.
Yeah. So, but it's like, we're as, XCOM members, like we do things that scare us every day. It's just, this is like, here, stick your hand in the gum jabar. It's fine.
So getting that vibe check off you when you say fine, I don't respond to the words, but at least to the vibe, you don't have to be there.
I don't.
And interacting with them in person. There's plenty you can do with the other 3. I'm not going in alone.
I don't want secondhand information. I want to be there. Okay? That's different from liking to be there.
Are you going to be okay if we're there?
As okay as I can be. I'm a field operative, just like you. I've been under fire. I mean, come on, Jinx. I'm a combat medic. I've seen some shit right next to you.
I thought that being in combat would prepare me, but then this, and I just shoot all 17 of those emotes. This is a very different job.
This is weird.
Right. Wolf's gonna lean over to Brood and ask very quietly, how do you get those emotes?
I take 3 harm.
I open my phone and I show him the comm and show him how to access the emote menu.
You have to explain to your grandpa how the emojis work.
Okay, but don't use this because it actually means that, and this one means this. And
under no circumstances send an A. Yeah. So
avoid the fruit and vegetables altogether. It's just
the produce is not productive. So Jinx will lean toward Valk for the peer over and peer approved texting procedure. I agree. I think she'd be sympathetic.
Yeah, they'll like that.
I'll finesse it. The 2 of us.
Where do you need us?
I think you're really going to, we could have a resurgence of how good it could be for people here. I can't wait for you to meet him. He's amazing.
I can't wait to learn about everything you're doing. Heart.
I think I like snap part of the like. There's a replaceable part of a soldering iron that is like, just like. Okay, that's fine. I have a replacement for this.
Also, just I don't know why this feels important, but Jinx exclusively uses purple hearts. So I just want to be very like for everything, because psychic purple. They use the purple heart for everything.
Yeah.
They are not sending red hearts to Congressperson Pitters. I just want to be absolutely crystal on that. That is not happening.
Yep. Oh, one additive in character line here. I mean, Jinx, how bad can this be compared to what I had to patch up in Berlin?
Too soon, Val.
That's the worst mess I've ever seen. That's my comparison. I'm okay to go.
I'd like to think if it were culty psi nonsense, you'd ask me the same thing.
I probably would.
Right. That's what squad does for each other. We take care of each other.
Where do you need us?
I think that we have some operational details that we should go over, but keep your comms open, and we'll be there if you need us. And I shoot Wolf a look like we need to talk.
Yeah, Wolf's returning it, but it's a very non-aggressive stance that he's taking.
All right, Val, should we see about which of these places will deliver to us?
Yeah.
I've been thinking curry.
Oh yeah, it's been ages.
Lovely. I know what they want. Come on, let's go through the menu.
Of course, Jinx knows what everybody wants on the menu.
I didn't until I said that. It occurred to me.
But including like, I'll have a salad. Like, no, come on.
You won't.
Those are your mouth words. That's not what you want.
Yeah, you won't be happy with that.
Yeah. I mean, I'll bring it for you, but
I'm going to bring it for you, but only because I know he will eat it after.
Yeah.
And there's also this extra dish that I just happened to bring.
So strange. No one said they wanted dessert, but guess who did? It's everyone. Everyone wanted dessert. We just got dessert.
Everyone wanted dessert, but they only wanted to say it if someone else said they wanted dessert first.
And everyone was a coward, so I just went ahead and did it. See, psychics, they're intrusive, but handy when you're ordering delivery as a way to get out of the room so your squad mates can fight.
Intrusive
also,
and
how
handy.
What would that be? Like, I don't know. What do you want? Well, I know what you want.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Dating Jinx would be a delight.
Just cut through that every time.
Almost as good as dating. Well, anyway, the point being, Jinx sort of ushers Val out of, I imagine, sort of the common area where folks are congregated for this scene, where Raven hangs out and whatnot, and we just go back to Val's room.
Yeah. I mean, Val would try to steer it towards her room because she wants to get ready anyway, so that makes sense.
Perfect. It also just, it happens to be where your video feed is, but that's no big deal. I wanted to make it accessible to both of us.
It's totally like a
Yeah.
cover of like a white noise generator in Val's room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But this video is playing underneath that white noise with audio.
Wolf looks directly into the camera and then looks back at Brood and says, well, you've got new armor and I've got a new stick, so let's break them in. How about the roof?
Sure.
I'm out of practice and we could use some sparring.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
And again, like very non-hostile in his tone.
Wait, I didn't hear it properly. Did Wolf say you're out of practice or I'm out of practice?
I'm out of practice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm out of practice and we could use some sparring is what he
Got it.
said.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, good idea. A little bit of physical exercise will help the mental as well.
I'll meet you up there when you're ready. Wolf looks back at the camera and then proceeds to grab his weapon and heads to the roof.
Wolf can hear just the quietest raspberry.
Boo.
I'll have that up there in a minute. I assume that I have some basic melee combat training.
Yeah, you all have, you've
Yeah.
sparred together before.
Right.
Everybody gets, a certain amount of basic.
Yeah.
There's
In
like
basic.
basic cert, there's specialist cert, there's like
Yeah.
individual fields cert. Jinx did the bare minimum.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm gonna say for this sparring session that it's like you have your weapon next to you, but you don't use it because
Yeah.
there's no way to make that not lethal if something
Yeah.
goes wrong. So you do the kind of sparring that y'all trained
I
and grew up
imagine-
doing.
Maybe there's a sparring stick.
Yeah, like a boken.
More
or
like like a padded thing. Not his actual sword.
It's just that since Brood doesn't fight with a weapon.
Oh, I was thinking Wolf was going to give Brood the weapon.
And then take it away from him.
And show him how to use it against his armor.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
So y'all are up on the roof.
Yeah.
And there's kind of like a cleared area as part of what you're just getting the place ready
Yeah.
for y'all to live in. You knew that you would be sparring together on occasion, or at least like a place to work out and keep up with your training.
Yeah.
So, do we want to talk about this now or later?
Can't see a reason why we can't spar and talk at the same time.
All right. And Brood goes on the offensive immediately and says, "What the fuck? Are you trying to get killed?"
Wolf, again, very not intending to harm, but he's just moving and maneuvering and dodging, not returning hits. And he said, for a while, yeah, I was.
I thought you were over that.
So did I. I killed Sunshine. Because of something I said, something I thought wouldn't come back to be a problem. And I keep thinking, why am I here and he's not? And if I didn't tell him what I told him, would he have made a different call that day? So yeah, I've been trying to earn the space he should be filling right now. I'm fucked up. Man, it's been a fucked up year. I've got a lot to make up for.
How dare you? You don't think that he was an adult and he knew what to do? You think that your words got him killed? And Brood is just shakingly livid here. You weren't there. If anyone killed him, it was me. How dare you try and take that on yourself? How dare you think that he didn't have the ability to listen to what you said and interpret that in the best way that he could? How what kind of hubris do you have that you think everything revolved around you? What the goddamn grenade? Do you think that listen, if you're still looking for death, then get out. We'll manage without you. But this is Phoenix Squad is for people who are going to live, who are going to rise, who are going to keep coming back. Did I make the wrong call with the grenade? Yeah, probably. But I made a call to try and save all of us. I didn't make a call to try and get you killed. I'm not going to lose somebody else because of my actions.
Brute, that was the right call.
Jumping on the
What?
grenade?
No, throwing it. What you don't know is you don't fight the lost. You can't. And Wolf undoes his bandages. I would know. And that's not something I'll ever risk. Those things that we put bullets in, those things we take headshots on, they all look like me before they look like them. So I fucking know. I also know they didn't sign up for that. They don't wear military fatigues. Those were civilians. Advent did that to them. So I'm not going to let them come into the city. I'm not going to let anyone else have to deal with that. If I can save lives, I will. And I think that was the right call for me.
You didn't sign up for this either.
Yeah, I did. The day I decided to be a ranger. But now the war's over.
It's not your fault. You don't have to shoulder the burden of everything. That's what we are here for. No one of us is stronger than all of us. I think you'd know that given your code name. Lone wolves die. The pack protects the wolf. The strength of the wolf is in the pack, and the strength of the pack is in the wolf.
You sound like sunshine. It's a good look on you.
I'm just trying to keep us all together.
That's not on you. What happened that day?
I guess we both have. I guess we both have an inflated sense of our responsibility.
Well, we've got big shoes to fill. You ever see Shensen's boots?
Those 14s, yeah, hit me in the ass more than once.
We've been fighting as though Sunshine were still here. Sunshine had us both covered. We're going to have to change. And I know I don't make it easy. But I'm trying. And I'm not. Despite what I look like, I need you to fucking know I'm not a monster. And I still feel. And I still think.
Wolf,
Sometimes
I never thought you're a monster. That's never crossed my mind. Stupid sometimes. Selfish.
Watch it.
But not a monster. You're as human as any of us. Despite
Some days.
Listen,
Brug, what happened on that day? You haven't told anyone. You don't have to tell me, but I'm gonna ask. What are you carrying? Because I see the way you keep trying to fuck with my food. Ingratiate yourself to everybody, take care of everybody. It's a good instinct, but people don't do that without a reason. So what are you carrying?
I'm just trying to hold us together the way he would. And I'm not him, but I'm trying to do the best I can. I'll tell you about it sometime, but just not right now.
Don't fuck with my food.
All right. I'll leave it alone.
But thank you for trying.
I just didn't want you to feel left out.
It's been hard, especially with Jinx. I don't know if they'll ever forgive me, but that's not for me to ask. But if it ever comes down to having to choose between them and anything else, I choose them every time. And it would never be a question. Not ever again.
I understand.
You think they're listening to us right now?
I scanned the sky for Raven. Something that hadn't occurred to me previously. No Raven.
I think Raven's like half a block in the other direction and quickly turns.
Oh,
Like-
I like hovering below the sill.
Oh,
so like,
yeah.
Don't look, and then just like a few more feet away, just under Raven.
The camera definitely pans back, and there's the roof line, and then the little rails along the roof that you know to prevent you from accidentally falling off. And just below that is Raven. And if you really want to, you could roll to see if you notice the little like small blinking lights.
I think actually I would, because the Brood's whole point was to do this in private. It's you praise in public, you condemn in private. So yeah, is this opposed, or how do we want to do that?
How much of a
obvious is it?
secret are you trying to keep this, Valkyrie?
Well,
I would try to make it look like Raven's just on patrol around the, just keeping an eye on the outside of the building, just equidistant from where they're having this conversation on the roof.
coincidentally.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
it's
say
not
that it's
too hard
like-
to spot. That's behavioral camouflage. It's,
Right.
You can see Raven there pretty easily. It's
Right.
up to you to decide whether you think that is weird. I
Yeah.
don't know
Like,
that
why
that's on
are
dice.
the sound pickups pointed backwards? That's weird.
Why is it carrying a boom mic?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say do a roll to see if you notice that all of the sensors are actually pointed at you.
Okay. What are we calling this?
Scout?
Yeah.
Scout? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do I
boy.
need to roll anything?
No, I don't
Probably
think that
not.
you're.
All
This
right.
is just how it is, and you have successfully made Raven go on a patrol route around the building.
I fly casual.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfectly fine.
What is that?
A 1.
Perfectly fine.
Yeah.
What, you only have one die for scout?
Oh Lord, you only have 1 point of insight.
Yeah.
Oh.
Naive and trusting.
So sweet.
Oh.
Tiny baby
this
child.
actually
all my consort and sway is just being a puppy.
Mm-hmm. So you notice Raven, but you do not realize that the sensors are actually pointed back towards you.
I mean, the cameras are actually on the street. Like, I'm half doing my job.
I mean,
Plausible deniability.
You would never completely abandon your duties.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we could have just sent me in the stairwell nearby and picked it up through the psychic pink. But again, we're trying to be accessible to our non-psi friends. Thanks, Raven.
So,
Well, between the psychic and Hugin over there, I don't know that we have very many secrets in our squad, but it really is none of their business at the moment.
I agree. And Wolf says that loudly.
Shall we? And I gesture again with the weapons, and I think with the air clear, we can get a more reasonable sparring.
I think Wolf floats the idea of maybe it's time to develop our own squad tactics instead of trying to fighting like Sunshine was still here.
Yeah. No, you're right. As much as it pains me to say, we can't have a ghost leading us.
No. But there's always going to be a fifth chair for him.
Always.
So this is how Rangers run. Let's see if you can catch up.
Yeah. Cool.
Adorable Naruto training sequence. So I feel like that kind of concludes our evening.
I like the idea of like the last shot we get for the evening being round the table with the curry delivered, starting to work out squad tactics a little. I admit, Wolf, your liquid nutrition would absolutely be in a sippy cup if you would let Jinx do the dish up. It will be unfucked with, like nothing about it will be bewaffled or anything.
Only if Jinx does it. Only if Jinx does it.
800%.
If anyone else touches it.
But like other than that, like we're all that like, and we're doing the tactics, eating the dinner, and working on something together as a team.
yeah, that's good.
I love that. So you get the information the next morning from Councilperson Pitters that they are very excited about this, and it's the perfect time for you to meet him. And this is really going to convince everyone that this is what's best for New Orleans and best for the humans. And at the end of that message is an address kind of out to the east of the city a little bit. And it's like, it's one of those places where you're like, wow, that is surprisingly both much closer than I imagined, but also still out in the boonies somehow. It's like when you have to go to Encino.
Is Encino a good counterpart? Because I was just sitting here thinking, like, I don't know the political geography of, actually, Sam should say this. I don't know the political geography of New Orleans in that sense. Like, you know, and if someone says it's on the west side, there are things that I know about that versus if it's on the east side of New Orleans. So, like, what might be
I am going to say that, like, the LA counterpart is, it's like an Encino. It's like you have to get on a freeway that you never have to get on. Like, it's easier from Los Angeles proper to get to Valencia, because you can just take and then take the 5 up and whatever, and you only like basically take one freeway and it's right there, versus like, oh, okay, now I have to go through this interchange, now I have to go through this interchange,
Close but
and I'm on
weird.
10 minutes of surface streets, but yet somehow this is all still technically the same place.
Close. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
Thanks,
that's
I
the
hate
vibe.
So do we have transportation, or is it that vibe but walking distance?
It's that vibe, but like walking distance.
Okay.
Oh, I was hoping we had XCOM motorcycles or something.
Okay. You have XCOM motorcycles.
Oh, it's heavy.
Okay.
I should GM.
Why didn't you list that among our assets?
Because they were airlifted in.
Oh, yeah,
This
they were in our
morning.
last delivery.
The last
You
drop.
have a special delivery from Advent or from XCOM.
From Advent. Oh shoot.
I know, right?
No,
you
thank
have a special delivery from the Avenger
Yeah.
that is, oh hey, we just got these fixed up, thought they might be useful. You have an extra set of supplies to distribute to the city, like to add into Nia's stuff for the mutual aid. And you have a new formulation for Wolf. With a note that says, this is tested significantly better than our last set of meds. High hopes.
Can we get a set of equipment that has been signed off on being able to use in the black market? If we're going to try and get more...
Oh, like a controlled buy kind of...
Oh. Like, it's okay if you sell these guns or whatever?
Right, or exactly, something that we can...
Like alien alloys, probably, scrap.
So do you mean stuff that you're selling at the black market, or stuff that it would be okay to buy at the black market?
No, stuff that we would sell. Because the
barter
idea
with.
If we're... If we need to set up a presence, I don't think we can just be buyers.
We need to bring some presents.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that you have been in communication with the Avenger, and so you get kind of low-level gear stuff that would be scrapped on the regular. They have moved past all this technology and no longer use it at all, but it is stuff that would still be helpful on the ground. So basic pistols and maybe some like armor kind of things. It's not stuff that, like, you're not gun runners in the situation, but it's just like enough to give you a credence, like that cover.
Right.
And then also other useful items like repaired tech and like
low-level med pack.
So it's stuff that like is a little bit harder to get, and if you were not currently under assignment, this would stuff that would be going straight to Nia, but you're holding back a little bit of it so that you can establish this presence at the back market.
Cool. Yeah.
That's cool.
So yes, that evening, or like let's say in the afternoon, y'all are getting ready to head to this meeting. I'm assuming you are all taking all of your new stuff, you're, getting set up, but so far, the only people who have been invited are Jinx and Valkyrie.
Wolf's ready to give guitar lessons to anyone who needs it. He puts his new sword into his guitar bag.
I think that Jinx and Valkyrie are going to go to the meeting, but that Brood and Wolf are going to be close by in case we're called in. Like we weren't invited. I assume that Valkyrie shared. I'm sorry, that Jinx shared that we were not appreciated for this particular meeting.
Oh, I think based on what we know of Jinx as a character, they did not hold back that fact at all out of any sort of misplaced sense of diplomacy. I think they were plenty eager to share that.
So I think that we wouldn't want to get off on the bad foot by having the people that they're afraid of showing up show up.
Oh, yeah. It's mostly a question of how we're going to transmit the information back to you. Either you could be within the distance of your own senses, which with Wolf's hearing, for instance, gives a decent radius. Some sort of shenanigans with Raven, which Valkyrie, you could figure out something like that, right? As butter could not melt in Jinx's mouth.
I
That's
lost the thread of what you were saying there a little bit. What am I supposed to figure out?
How to make Raven spy on one location and report it to another remotely.
Oh, I could probably.
You could figure it out.
Yeah, I could rig up something for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what if we have Raven giving us real-time updates and we set up like the panic word that means have us jump in?
As long as we're feeling confident that we can either hide Raven or bring Raven. And that's Val's call.
I was planning on showing up to the door with Raven perfectly visible and
Well, there we are then.
call it I'm documenting our progress, because they think this is all above board and they're really proud of their decisions.
Well, then if we're in trouble, believe us when we cry wolf.
I'll be there.
And let slip the dogs of war.
What I was thinking, but yeah.
All right.
So as y'all suit up to go out, I am going to assume that you are all going combat gear.
Yep, I've got my laser rifle with me now. Like I'm tired of not having it with me.
And you maneuver out to a location to the east of the city. Like I said, it's this kind of weird place. You have to get off the interstate and then go on some surface streets. And by the end of it, you're like, did I just wind up underneath where I was before? No? Okay.
Never know.
But as you approach the meeting site with Councilperson Petters, you and I'm sorry, I'm looking at someone like that, like real life. Wolf
Sorry.
and Brood are able to trail along behind. Your bikes are really quiet, unlike civilian bikes that are engineered to make as much noise as humanly possible.
We get it. You're very well endowed. Now shut up. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. Just like a jackhammer. But so you all peel off as you get close and are in within a couple of buildings, because the other thing that you notice as you come through this area is that it's almost completely deserted. Wolf, you don't sense the presence of the lost.
Okay.
And you realize as you look around that the reason why it's so deserted is most of it is under construction. This looks like an area that the companies, specifically that Councilperson Petters heads up or has control over, are revitalizing the area. And they're probably 3 months out from being real livable, workable, usable spaces. But the building that Jinx and Valkyrie pull up to, and you see that Councilperson Petters is there with a car, because that makes perfect sense to use. And they are so, so excited to see you. They meet you outside and rush up to Jinx and without waiting for like any kind of confirmation, they give you a big hug. And they are just so happy to see you. They're so, so excited to show you this. It's really going to be, you had the perfect timing. I mean, I never could have known, but it turns out that tonight is a like the that he had a breakthrough. And it's really like we are on the cusp of getting back everything that we lost when we drove out the elders. And I'm so glad that you're here to see this with me.
I just
And they
need
grab
to
your
know. I need to note the vibe spike that Jinx just got from Valkyrie.
Oh, the vibes are. Oh, baby, you barely need an Esper rating.
Yep. So, just FYI. Valkyrie, I think, can keep pretty cool, but like, there's a little vent, like pressure vent, psychically, that is like, this sucks and I hate it.
Cool. I made a big boo-boo when I set up this section, so give me 2 seconds.
Oh, okay. What, you have notes? That's why you're so good at this. I should really try that sometime.
Okay. Oh wait, that's too close to. I mean, I feel like they're overrated sometimes, but also otherwise I forget things.
Yeah, I just forget things.
I think they are underrated because we would like to believe that they aren't as helpful as and important as they are because they're really hard.
Yeah.
And so it would feel so much better if I didn't feel like I needed to do them.
Yep.
Than that I'm just not doing them. And they would have been helpful if I did.
Yep.
And Councilperson Petters like acknowledges that Valkyrie is there. They are not ignoring you so much as they are just overwhelmed with their feelings for Jinx.
Sure, I get it.
You know how like when you are in that like super awkward third wheel position? That's the vibe, except Jinx is not part of this.
Yeah.
Like it's like a reverse third wheel.
Right. This is a unicycle out here.
Yes. Yes. And at this point, like after this whole like big exuberant thing, and they turn to encompass kind of both of you, and they're like, Dr. Gergi is a genius. I just want to impress upon you that the work that he has been doing is so important. And I know that you'll understand, Valkyrie, because you also being a scientist, and he believes that you will be able to like really aid in that cause, in our cause. What we all want is for New Orleans and humans to prosper. And they go and to lead you inside.
So he specifically said, or Pitters is they, them?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. So they said humans prosper.
Mm-hmm.
Noted. Valkyrie will remember this.
Yeah, everyone disliked that.
Yes.
If this was a Telltale Games game, there would be that little pop-up.
Yep.
Press A to repeatedly punch in the face. Oh wait, is that just the Telltale Games I've been playing?
Somehow I broke my A button. Weird how that happened.
Yeah.
No one
Like
knows how.
why is my A button so much more worn than everything else?
It's like my W key. Let's go.
Oh god, my Wasad keys. My poor Masad keys.
I assume my A is because I'm so left.
But so they turn to bring you into this building, and despite the fact that like the exterior still has scaffolding and other like signs of construction and tarps, and like if you like if you weren't currently being led inside of it, you would assume that there was no way that anything would be in there.
Is this like a mansion or like what kind of building was this?
This is like a medium-sized warehouse. Kind of, if it was a house, it would be a ranch style.
Okay.
Throwing in there are not that many like multi-story buildings out in the area that you're in. It would be unusual for something to be like more than 2 or 3 stories.
Got it.
In this, from the exterior, it could either be a 2-story or it could just have really tall ceilings. You're not sure from the exterior.
Okay.
Especially with all the scaffolding and everything covering up like that top portion. And
does anybody blink as Raven is bobbing along behind me to come in?
No, Pitters is like completely oblivious. They're really into Jinx.
Yeah.
I'm very distracting.
I mean, they do kind of notice that you have come in your tat gear versus, and they look like they're dressed not like it was when you were on a date, but kind of like if you didn't know better, you would think that like it's like a cross between an interview and a press conference.
Okay. And like the last 20 years didn't just happen.
Yeah.
They happened very differently for the council person.
Yeah.
So so they kind of, they're like, oh, well, came ready for work. Well, that's good. I mean, we're all ready to work all the time.
We had the most terrible incident yesterday. I ran into a few of the lost, and frankly, it had us on edge. We got to look out for you.
Oh, thank you so much. And I am so glad that you're okay. I mean, this is part of what we're trying to fix.
Exactly.
They're a scourge on society, and we need to drive them out. But once we get everything as part of the plan.
You were talking about the lost are a scourge?
Mm-hmm.
I see.
So, and they lead you into this building, and it is remarkable. Because in here is a fully set up, fully like state of the art lab situation. Valkyrie, you haven't seen this level of work since you worked for Advent.
Yeah.
This tech, the way it's set up, they could have transplanted something directly from a city center into this building, and it wouldn't look that different.
Yeah. I think there is a brief moment where it's almost relief to be in this space, and it overwhelms her sense of like how wrong all this is just for a moment of like, oh, it's so nice to have these resources, right?
Real lab. Sheesh.
Yeah.
It's been too long.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, a centrifuge that isn't. Yeah.
And it's state-of-the-art equipment. You wouldn't be surprised if some of the stuff is stuff that like XCOM had a hard time getting a hold of.
Yeah.
Not that they have better technology than XCOM does, but it's stuff like it is obvious that a lot of time, effort, and money has gone into this.
Yeah.
And at this point, like, Pitters turns to you, Valkyrie, and just like notices that kind of like look of relief and kind of longing on your face. Am I accurate in saying that?
Yep, that's fair.
And says to you, yes, you see the amount of work and so much money that we have put into this. You understand what it's for. This is why I told Dr. Gergi that you would be perfect. And I'm sure he will agree. Just, oh, there he is. And as you look around, you notice that there are, it's aside from all the normal equipment and kind of like more coding or computer station work, there is a lot of area for experimentation in a physical realm. And part of what you see is that there are tables laid out. This is also an area that you recognize as you come around further into the space. Dr. Garrigy is coming out from what looks like an autopsy area.
Okay. Bloody?
No,
Okay.
but it is, I would say that,
Like an autopsy theater kind of thing where you
Mhm.
would sit behind and be able to observe?
yeah. And this is an area that you would know from The Avenger because you have sat in on alien autopsies when they were done there as
Yeah.
part of like more of the scientific training classes. So that's kind of where that knowledge and like there's nothing out there currently,
Yeah.
but they're definitely it's set up to have. And looking more closely, you see that like in the back behind where Dr. Gergi is coming from is actually a row of vials that have, or I guess vials isn't the appropriate term, but like containers,
Beakers?
beakers, but with a cap on them.
Mm.
And suspended in the solution inside are chips.
Okay.
And he comes out and he is a reasonably tall, not before I described Councilperson Petters as soft. There is nothing soft about Gerby. Although he does not look like he is a soldier, you know that beneath this kind of scholarly appearance, or at least what you've heard or what you assume will be a scholarly kind of veneer that he has put on, there is like a steel core there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the vibe that Jinx is getting currently, is a determination and a sense of purpose.
I'm thinking, Valkyrie is thinking, what a waste. Just loud enough for Jinx to pick up. Because the shirt is like, okay. All right.
He approaches the three of you, and there's a split second. Well, actually, I'm going to have you both roll consort.
Okay. I actually put some points in that so I wouldn't be terrible.
How do we like discipline?
Well, I mean, some people might like discipline more than others, but
Okay,
only in a
fair enough.
consensual
Ayo.
setting.
But to the end of social via trying to hold down what one's personal sentiment might be in favor of a more socially palatable one. Because Jinx has this vision of just ripping his mind into psychic pink cross sections in the psychic skeletal plane, and they need to act like a person right now.
Okay, well, I will have you roll. I'm going to say roll discipline for that for yourself to see how well you take that in. But
Roll for
also roll
masking.
consort so you can to see what.
Congrats, you get to roll both.
I know, right? Better on the consort somehow.
I got a couple of 5s.
When Girgi comes up to you, you notice him scanning 3 of you. And it's not surprise that flashes across his face for just a moment. You don't actually know, you can't quite grasp what the expression is before he schools his features into a pleasant smile and that sense of, oh, my patron is here with his people that he has brought.
Oh, right. I'm now on in performance mode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Grant performance. Ugh.
And Jinx, how did you do on your consort?
I also got 5.
Great. So you both
and a
noticed
4
that.
on the discipline. So I think at the same beat we school our features.
I am going to say that while you're kind of having this moment of like getting yourself back under control, Pitters is faced away from you. Because they are also, they're puffed up a little.
Showing off their toys.
Look how important I am. I'm this big mocker who's bringing these power players together.
Mm-hmm. And you see, like, as you scroll your features, you see kind of a matching situation on the other side with Gergi, but it's not necessarily the same exact feeling, and you're not sure if maybe does he feel the same way, or does he just, or are you just projecting and you're not sure? But
well, go ahead. I have a thought when you're done describing.
Oh, okay. So, but yes, you get this. Pitters makes the introductions. They are so proud of what's going on here. They're so enamored of showing off what is happening. And kind of like steamroll a little bit of this beginning before Gergi like is able to interject. And he says, yes, it is a pleasure to meet your guests, Pitters, council person. Especially on such a busy and auspicious day for all of us.
Well, I'm pleased as well. I hope Councilperson Pitters thought that we might be able to collaborate on your work.
Yes, I'm sure that XCOM and a scientific and technological mind such as yourself would be quite interested in these developments.
I'm gonna just do a push the hair back to show the data port thing, just to see if that registers with him at all. Not like a look at this. I'm trying to do it subtly.
No, you're just flashing your port at him. No,
Yeah.
totally, hussy.
maybe let him believe I miss Advent, you know?
I am going to have you roll a sway.
Okay. Cool. Is there any chance I have Jinx's help with swaying?
You can take stress also if we're using that mechanic.
If you want to take 2 stress, I'll give you an extra die on this if you want to push it.
Okay. I don't think I'm ready to put stress into it yet. That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
If I'm getting vibe check from you, how close are the two of us? Like physically proximate?
Well, I assume we're standing next to each other.
So I'd like to just, since I've been getting a pretty much open channel vibes from Val the whole time, just grab her hand, give it a quick squeeze, feel a little bit of psychic electric discharge, aka inspire. Add a die.
Okay.
Yeah, love it.
There it is.
Guidance for
Thank you.
XCOM.
So you actually, for an inspire, so Jinx is going to take a couple of stress, and you add 2 die.
Oh, 2 dice. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay, here we go. Is there a reroll mechanic?
Jason, what?
Not that I'm aware of, but
Well, okay, that's fine. I got 2 5s, but I really wanted the 6, so yeah. Okay.
Okay, so
I didn't want to waste Jinx's help.
it is definitely not a waste. I'll put it that way. That not only does Gergi notice your data port, but he is very happy to see it and is immediately much more friendly to you.
Okay.
The complication I'm going to say is he tells you, like, you can dock your gremlin over there. We have a station for it, but let me come over here and let me show you some of this research that I have been doing ahead of our test tonight.
Oh,
and it separates you from Jinx and the calcium person Petters.
Okay.
As he pulls you away, he gestures to a couple of the other people there, and you notice, like, it wasn't immediately clear at first, but there are actually like 8 to 10 other people working there.
Mm-hmm.
They're all humans, from what you can tell. You see that some of them have data ports, but not all of them do, or if you like, they're not all obvious. And they are all dressed in that kind of cross between like stereotypical scientist and engineer gear.
Yeah.
And there is like he calls over a couple of people to take Jinx and Councilperson Petters on a tour of the rest of the facilities, while he takes you aside to show you specifics and things that are special.
I'm going to let Jinx react to that first.
Jinx will smile tensely, catching eyes with Valkyrie, and they're going to flinch just a little as they hear a fuller hum of this facility as they take those bracelets off that had been making life livable, but hopefully without which they can strengthen any signal they get off Valkyrie as they become more distant, trying to just keep that line as far as possible while we're separated. A little bit of a psychic link.
Okay. So Pooja, I was hoping to keep Raven with me, but it sounds like there's no way, like with my role, that's part of what I have to give up is like having Raven not there.
I could say that it's just like an offer. I'll say you did succeed. The complication is that y'all got split up.
Okay.
He offers to have you dock Raven. And I'll have you roll I'm going to have you roll another sway.
Mm-hmm.
Just to see how your explanation, like how easily you pass off that, like, oh no, I prefer to have it with me.
Yeah. Because that's, I was thinking like, oh no, it's fully charged. I'd like taking notes and, but yeah. All right. We'll go sway without the extra dice. How about 2 6s?
Huh. Hell yeah.
Whatever you
Critical
want,
success. So not only do you convince Gergi that like there's nothing weird about having your gremlin with you and not docking it, but that it's weird that they haven't begun to use gremlins as assistants in the lab.
Yeah, I'm surprised you all aren't using them. I mean, that's fine. You probably have your own system. That's, I'm sure it's just as good.
So he actually gets a little like, it's like, oh yes, of course. And like, it puts him a little bit on the defensive. And he starts showing you around and he says, it is can we speak scientist to scientist here?
Well, I was hoping we would be able to, yes.
Honestly, dealing with a council person is a necessary evil, but labs don't pay for themselves.
Trust me, I remember.
And the amount of time and effort that we have poured into this, I can see that you know what a boon it was to have the network at your fingertips.
It was very powerful.
And now that the elders are gone, much of that, the danger that I won't deny was there, much of that has been removed, thanks to people like yourselves. However, we don't want to throw the baby away with the bathwater. And with the exit of the elders, we now have all kinds of things running around Earth that were never meant to be here. I know the council person told me that you have already had a run-in with the chrysalids.
A persistent and constant threat.
But the chrysalids are the least of our worries. There were all kinds of creatures made by the elders that the elders could control.
Through their network.
We have lost that control, and with it gained dangerous new enemies. Above and beyond just the base technological advancements that we have lost, networking capabilities, communication, technology, even entertainment is no longer anywhere near as possible as it was even 6 months ago. Unless we want humanity to slip into the dark ages, we have to do something. And he has really like as he's talking and as this like monologue is going on, his spine is straightening and he is very much into his subject. You can tell he believes what he is saying.
Mm. And you said he's tall.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that
Can't trust tall people.
goes, I mean, opposite.
Tall is untrustworthy. What do they need all of that height for anyway?
To see what the weather is like up there before the rest of us find out.
We don't need to know that. It'll get here when it gets here.
Also, reaching things, as I have found out so well over the course of this last year, especially that people store things way too high.
That's on storage. And if we need things from tall places, we climb.
Sorry.
Yeah, or we just
But yes, so
there's a point in his description where I feel like Valkyrie's like, I have a pretty good idea what the rest of this speech is about.
mm-hmm.
And I was hoping to surreptitiously send a command to Raven to check for any like broadcast or broadcast potential, like with my port is able to, but I shut down a lot of it because I manually, rewrote some of it. I'm curious to see like what head signals are available in the room, or maybe what they've done to shield them. I'm trying to do a IP config of like system check.
There isn't an active network that you would be able to hook into from in that way currently.
Mm-hmm.
But what Raven does notice, or what you notice through Raven, who is scanning and taking stock of what all the equipment is that all the pieces are there to set up a broadcast, to set up what looks like it might be a stable network. They're just not online.
Okay.
And as Raven gives you that report, and Dr. Gergi is kind of like winding down not winding down, but coming to the conclusion of his speech.
Yeah.
And you get that report just as he is saying, and it is perfect that you have come in tonight because the countdown has already begun. And we will have an active network that allows us as humans to remain the apex species on this planet. And and just then the other scientists or engineers or, faceless, nameless people who were showing Jinx and Pitters around also gesture over to one part of the lab. And you can see that there are 2 clocks. And one is at a set time and one is counting down or counting towards that time. And you are 2 minutes out from the end of that countdown.
Shit.
And that is where, that is where we are going to end today's session.
God damn it.
Yep, it's fine. It's fine. It means next session will be very short. It'll only be 2 minutes long. Yep.
I don't know,
maybe 2.5 minutes if we're gonna just say yay at the end.
I've seen gamers carry on 2 minutes for a fair amount of time.
I have no idea what you're talking about, and also I'm offended.
So, thank you all for coming on this adventure with me and XCOM Phoenix Squad. Thank you to everyone who tuned in today and everyone who will tune in later, who, as Jason is fond of reminding us, are currently our only 2 options, or at least the only options we're telling him about. But you can find me outside of the XCOM universe and driving my players a little bit batty on the Twitterverse at LADC Girl. That's LADESI Girl. And pretty much all the other socials is Forgotten Saves. I am on the podcast 12 Sided Stories, which is a rules light story heavy fully produced actual play podcast. We are currently just beginning our Dead Drop campaign, which is a Night's Black Agents spy thriller with vampires. And honestly, this campaign is so amazing, and we have such great people in it. B Zelda has joined us for this, and they are just
Yeah, I mean, such a gift.
They're the best. They're the
so
best.
good.
They're the best.
I listened to session 0 already. It's very fun.
It's just and then session 1 starts off with Wes isn't pulling those punches in this one. I'll just put it that way.
Awesome.
So Sam, where can the people find you?
Yes, if you have the misfortune to happen upon me, it will probably be at a number of digital locations. I itemize as follows: twitch.tv/Delevely, DELEVELY. At this accursed location can you find the schedule of my appearances throughout the internet abyss. If any such event is not upon the schedule and you wish to peer deeper into the cursed darkness, Twitter at Tchaikovsky, CHAIKOVSKY, will show you nothing that you want to see, but might reveal unto you the events, such as one-offs and special interviews that I happen to lay my claws upon.
And Joe?
Hello, everyone. If you would like to find me, there are 2 ways. The first requires that you gather 4 drops of dew from the morning grass. Bring those drops into your home and contemplate, what are your goals this year? What would you like to achieve? Who would you like to be at the end of the year? And when you're done, you want to take those drops, put them into a vial, carry it with you. At midnight, go to the park, walk around, and you might see someone there, a man waiting for you. He's going to beckon, and you don't know why, but you feel like you can trust him, so you follow, and you find yourself in an abandoned building. And then the cops arrive and they arrest you. You've been trespassing. You're now in jail.
This took a turn.
And when you're asked
I'm gonna go back
if you would like to contact anybody,
at the lantern.
I just want to mark this other page.
would you like to quick save now?
Yeah. Yeah. F5.
Great. You create a quick save. And when they ask you, is there anyone you would like to contact now that you've been arrested, they'll show you to a room where you can get on the computer. And when you're on that computer, you can find me at Joe Love Stories on twitter.com. The other way to reach me is just go to Twitter. Just go to Twitter and look up Joe Love Stories.
That's good.
What feels right for you?
It's good to have options.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
It's the GDQ run of how to contact Joe.
It sounded like the GTA run of how to contact Joe.
GTA versus GDQ.
Wait, what's GDQ?
Games done quick.
Oh, right, yes.
Speed running for charity. And Nick?
Hey everyone, I am Nick. You can find me on Twitter at Sungrowler, SUNGROWLER. I used to say that you could also find me there on Instagram, but don't because I don't post anything. But Facebook has decided that if I put a picture and a post, it cross-posts it to Instagram. So there actually is some content there, although it's still probably not worth seeing at all. So don't follow me there. as per my original instructions.
I liked it.
Besides that,
Reverse psychology.
I have nothing else on my plate. So when this wraps up, I will fade back into the mists of obscurity again until another game needs me, and then I'll be there.
And bring us home, Jason.
Oh, right. That's me. Hi, I'm Jason. This is my channel. You can follow me on Twitch and Twitter at It's Probably Okay. That's just the letters OK at the end there. OKAY actually is too long for Twitter, so you can't make that my name. But I stream here on Fridays with my friend Sam DeLev. We have a little 2-screen setup for some video games. And we're doing this on Saturday for one more Saturday. Next week is our finale. It's
Finale. Haha.
no.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's good. That's
Don't
good.
give Pooja episode titles. Make her work.
I've also restarted a weekly game. I was trying to move my game to Tuesdays, but my brand of On Wednesdays We Wear Death has dragged me forward in the timeline. However you enjoy us, as Pooja mentioned, live or later, your only 2 options for watching the show. We'd love to have you either way, and look forward to seeing you next time. Anything else we need to?
I just have one addendum here. I'm actually watching it in the past, so I know what to do for this episode. So am I doing that wrong?
That's later.
No. I'm watching it before.
Oh.
You will
I'm
have
watching
been
the show,
doing
so
it
I know what
just
to do in
fine.
the show.
Oh, okay. Well, why aren't you telling the rest of us what to do?
Well, no. So you do what you want. I just
Wait.
was like, am I doing that wrong?
Is Nick not telling you, Jason?
No.
I mean, the rest of us have totally set up a prophecy dream sequence that we go through every Friday night. Like that.
I
I
love
could've
the dream
sworn you got that memo.
ballet. It's one of my favorite things about the show.
All right.
Not like this.
I'm going to take us to our end screen and see if we have anyone to raid. But thank you, everyone, so much for being here. It's.
I actually, seriously, I do actually have one more thing that I almost forgot.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much for to Jiminy Fuckmas.
Did you
I don't
say
know that
Jiminy
person.
Fuckmas?
I did.
It was going to be a euphemism and then it got swears.
That's my
That's
my stripper
Oh,
name.
thank you very much to Bill Roper, who did our
Yes.
amazing intro video for this campaign. Highly recommend him to do y'all's videos. They
Yeah, you
are
can find him at
awesome.
jiminyfuckmas.com.
Tell him we sent you.
Yeah. They'll leave a light on for you.
Jiminy Fuckmas, because I will.
I'm about to Google this domain.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Stick around for a second while I find us a raid, and we will see you next time. Take care.
Woo!
Bye.